हसरत है हमारी बाबा, कर दो वो पूरी आके। मिल जाओ प्यारे बाबा हम बच्चों से आके। मिल जाओ प्यारे बाबा हम बच्चों से आके।
हाथ की शोभा बहुत अच्छी है, एकदम माला लगती है। यहाँ से आगे देखो तो ऐसे माला लगती। एक कुर्सियों वालों की माला तैयार हो गई है। अच्छा अकारने जैसे अभी कुर्सी ली है ना, मिली है, ऐसे जब बाप दादा फाइनल समय पर मां सीटी बजाएंगे, जीवन मुक्ति के कुर्सी पर बैठ जाओ, तो भी बैठे नहीं, यहाँ भी कुर्सी पर बैठे हैं, भले बैठो, ऐसे नहीं धरने पर बैठे हुए कुर्सी नहीं देंगे, पहले आप धरने पर बैठना। ये तपस्या की निशानी, तंदुरुस्ती की निशानी है, हेल्थ भी है। तपस्या द्वारा खजानों की वेल्थ भी है। तो जहाँ हेल्थ है, वेल्थ है, वहाँ भी तो है ही, तो अच्छा है। हेल्थी हो, वेल्थी हो। तो बाप दादा आज देख रहे थे कि बच्चों की 3 प्रकार की स्टेजेस है। एक है पुरुषार्थी, उसमें पुरुषार्थी भी है और तीव्र पुरुषार्थी भी है। दूसरे है जो पुरुषार्थ की प्रारब्ध जीवन मुक्त अवस्था के स्टेज में अनुभव कर रहे, लेकिन लास्ट की संपूर्ण स्टेज है देह में होते विदेही अवस्था का अनुभव।
बड़ी मन भावनी मुरली प्रेम से प्राणों को सींचे, रसीली तान की ये डोर आपकी ओर ही खींचे, आपकी ओर ही खींचे। रूहानी स्नेह का जादू आपकी मीठी बातों में, रूहानी स्नेह का जादू आपकी मीठी बातों में।
Shanti. Become a carefree emperor of the land without sorrow by being full with all attainments, honesty, and cleanliness. When you have to become a beggar, do not become an emperor. And when you have to be an emperor, do not become a beggar. You need to have this wonder of the intellect. As is the time, so is the situation, and so make your form according to that. For this, the main thing needed is the power to decide, and you will have this power when you have internal and external honesty and cleanliness. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Vikti Parivar. Today's day 6. Become a carefree emperor of the land without sorrow by being full with all attainments. Today's topic, honesty and cleanliness. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti. Baba's all honest and clean children. I think one feels very light and one feels very, very good when there is honesty. And when there is lack of honesty, it's really a lot of heaviness, confusion, and then you lose self-trust. So this habit of being honest, whether honesty in money or honesty in relationship, even in a relationship, there has to be total honesty. There is a saying, honesty is the best policy. You don't have to tell lies. You don't have to feel deceived. Because if we are not honest, actually we are deceiving ourselves first. So remain very, very honest. So Baba is saying, when you have to become a beggar, do not become an emperor. I think we have to understand this aspect of being beggar. Beggar is when Baba says, nothing belongs to me. An emperor is when you remember that Baba has given us all the treasures. I am full. Because emperors is emperor because treasures are full. When there won't be any treasures, it will be beggar then. So when I have to be beggar, then I say, nothing belongs to me. And then when I have to be emperor, then what I say is that all the treasures God has given me belongs to me. Because emperor's treasure stores are full. Do not become an emperor, and when you have to be an emperor, do not become a beggar. Sometimes we could forget. And I say, no, nothing belongs to me. And sometimes when I have to say that nothing belongs to me, then I say, oh, I have all the treasures. I think it's kind of first time Baba is giving us this practice or asking us to have balance. So I think we have to practice and then see how you feel. You need to have this wonder of the intellect. As is the time, so is the situation. So make your form according to that. That means the form of beggar or form of emperor. make yourself like that. Make your form according to that. For this, the main thing needed is the power to decide. And you will have the power when you have internal and external honesty and cleanliness. So that means if my intellect is clear, right? In honesty, you are confused, right? I remember we used to have a milkman in India in olden days, few years ago. They used to deliver milk at your home. So when he brings milk, there will be little bit of foam on the top of the milk. So when the foam will settle down, then you will see little space, that is less milk. So this lady got upset and she said, "Oh, you're not honest, you don't give me proper measurement of milk." He said, "Okay, I won't bring from tomorrow." But he was so honest because he will never mix water. But of course, the foam on the top is when you put in the jug or jar. So it's very, very interesting that because his demand of milk was so much because of pure milk, he had not to worry whether she takes it or not, because he was not worried about losing the clients. He knew that those who will know what is pure milk will always take from him. So in honesty, there is no doubt. A lot of trust, because you are honest, you're not doing anything wrong. But when there is lack of honesty, definitely one kind of gets nervous, or doubts start coming, wasteful thoughts come. So all of us have to always keep in mind that we have to be very, very honest. And also clean heart, right intentions, pure desires, loveful relationship. Clean heart, not something in and out different, right? Intentions are not right, or feelings are not good. No, when your heart is clean, then everything is really very, very clean. And all these virtues are connected with intellect. It's so interesting. One is wistful thoughts in the mind, and other one is of heart, of intellect. So it's mind, it's heart, it's intellect. And intellect is very important because at the right time you have to decide, and decide in the right way. Okay, so let's do this practice and then look at what experiences come. Write down those experiences, write down when you were able to do, was it right or not? Were you able to take the right form? So I think it's very enjoyable if we do it regularly. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti Avyakti Parivar. You would have enjoyed what Sister Mohini just shared, and of course, what Baba shared before that. Sister Mohini was talking a lot on honesty, and we know honesty is something that is internal. Actually, both cleanliness and honesty are internal, but cleanliness expresses itself more obviously through our bodies, through our eyes, through the way we listen, through the way we speak. So I think when Baba talks about internal honesty and external honesty and cleanliness, he's talking about it both in terms of what we are imbibing and then again, how we express it. And so today I'll focus on cleanliness because Sister Mohini focused a lot on honesty. And when I was churning on cleanliness, external and internal cleanliness, I connected it very much to this power to decide. And for us to decide, before we could decide, we need to discern. And before we could discern, we need both these qualities of cleanliness and honesty. And so on churning on cleanliness, I went through some of how Baba talked about cleanliness. And there was this very beautiful Murli on cleanliness, in which Baba took up cleanliness at 4 levels. And he talked about cleanliness first and foremost in relation to our bodies. And he was saying that there is an awareness that we need to keep while we are taking care of this body, while we are keeping the body clean, because cleanliness of the body is connected to purity, of course, in the way the body will express our thoughts, our feelings, our good wishes. And so he was saying the awareness that I need to have in relation to keeping my body clean is to see the body as a temple. And if I see my body as a temple, then how do I see myself, the soul, in this body? And he says, just as in any temple, the more elevated the deity is, or the idol is, it's the more elevated the temple will be. So he says, when you take care of this body and you keep this body clean and see the body as a temple, then you need to see yourself as valuable, as worthy as those idols on the path of bhakti, but even more worthy than that, to be in this temple of the body. And he was saying, you are the most elevated souls because you are Brahmins. So Brahmins, their value is connected to being diamonds. The deities, their value is connected to being gold. So the Brahmins should have such a self-respect, not only of the soul aspiring, going up to being complete and perfect, but also seated in this temple of the body, and to constantly have this awareness and this recognition of my self-respect will keep the senses, the sense organs, the cells, everything of the body will keep it becoming more and more clean. We will keep cleaning up our senses, cleaning up everything connected to the body, because we are in this awareness of I am a diamond-like Brahmin soul seated in this body, and I'm keeping the body clean, which means clean vision, clean hearing, clean tasting, everything. I'm aspiring for it to become Satu Pradhan. And then the next level of cleanliness that Baba talked about was cleanliness of the mind. And of course, Sister Mohini said, the intellect is very important, but the mind now has to cooperate with the intellect to keep that intellect, connected to Baba, connected to the truth. And so how can the mind support the intellect in making the right decisions is for the mind to become clean. And so Baba is saying cleanliness of the mind, he said, is when you use this great mantra of Man Manabhav to clean the mind periodically throughout the day. And Baba says Man Manabhav literally means focus your mind on me. Do not let your mind wander around. Because when your mind wanders around, it absorbs the influences from the outside, but as well as from the inside. And those influences are like dust, tiny, tiny dust that clutters the intellect, the mind. And it keeps the mind, it's like dust on the mind, being absorbed by influences on the outside and on the inside as well. So when I focus my mind on Baba, when I focus my thoughts on Baba, then the mind keeps being cleansed by Baba's remembrance. And then, of course, the mind is then able to move in the direction that the intellect wants it to move in order to make the right decisions, because the mind and the intellect work very closely with one another in decision making, but also in discernment. And then the other cleanliness that Baba talked about, and again, Sister Mohini mentioned it, was cleanliness of the heart. Now, when Baba talks about cleanliness of the heart, he's also talking about an honest heart, because he talks about the things in the heart are things of the truth. So if you want to see the truth, of course, you look into the mirror of the mind, but you also look into the mirror of the heart, because invariably, the heart doesn't lie to you. You may suppress your feelings. You may suppress those touchings that Baba moves in our hearts, and I may not act on them, but the heart is where the honesty is required, because the heart is calling on us to be honest. And the heart is holding us accountable when we're not honest, because there's the heaviness. When I feel that heaviness, the heaviness is in the heart. And so Baba was saying cleanliness of the heart. And this was, again, Baba talked about it in the earlier Murli when he was talking about the 3 stages of making effort. And so the cleanliness of the heart, Baba is saying, is to put our efforts honestly in front of him. And that is efforts for self-progress. I mustn't just make them as promises, but whatever efforts I want to make for myself, if I would honestly put it in front of Baba, then the cleanliness of the mind and the intellect will help me to make those efforts and not just keep them at the level of thoughts. But Baba says there was a second level to honesty of the heart. And he was saying honesty of the heart is connected to the actions that we do, to the service that we do. It is connected to true service, to service done with selfless love. And so he was saying honesty of the heart is when I do something because of the love for Baba. And he says that this love, this true heart, it's called a true heart, honesty of heart, cleanliness of heart, brings me to a true heart. And when I act from selflessness, from that true heart, he says, it indicates to me that I'm acting from my original sanskara of truth and of love, but more so, I'm acting from that original sanskara of love for truth. And he says, when there's love for truth, which is an original sanskara, when that comes out in my karmas, in my actions, in my service, then there is this perfect harmony between my dharma, which is love for truth, and my karma, which is altruistic service or service done with the love for truth, which makes it a selfless service. And so that for me, this cleanliness of the heart really made me realize that when Baba talked about being a beggar, he's talking about the non-attachments to everything. And where the heart is concerned, there are lots of attachments there. So to become a beggar at the level of heart is actually to remove all the attachments based on I and mine, and for the heart to then flourish and to become generous. Because the more the attachments are removed from my heart, the more I become like independent of all those attachments. I'm not begging for anything in that sense, but the other is that I'm letting go. I'm becoming a beggar in the sense I'm letting go of everything. Nothing belongs to me. Nothing belongs to I. Nothing belongs to mine. Everything belongs to Baba. And then it's like more like a liberation that I feel within me. So this whole concept of beggar, Baba is putting a very positive slant on it. And it's making me feel, even though I have nothing, on the other hand, I'm like a sovereign. I'm full of all treasures. So this contrast he wants us to have within being a beggar and being a master. And of course, that is connected to the whole original sanskara of love for truth and that true heart. And then finally, Baba talked about cleanliness in relationships. And he was saying that there are 3 types of relationship you would encounter on a daily basis as a Brahmin. First of all, you will come into contact with the Brahmin family, and there needs to be cleanliness in our relationships with one another. The other, he says, you will come into contact, for those of you living at the center, with students, and those of you who work with people that you would meet at work, those of you who commute, the people you would meet on your way to wherever you're going to work. And so he said that's a second level of people you would encounter. And so you must have cleanliness in those relationships too. So even if you're not talking to someone or interacting consciously with them, even if you're looking at them, even if you're giving them drishti, what's the cleanliness in your drishti in that relationship that you may never encounter again in your life, but just this one moment you're having an eye contact. So there should be, he says, cleanliness in the way we interact with those souls. And then he says the third level is with your Lokik family. And there must also be cleanliness in your relationship with your Lokik family. And so at these 3 levels, Brahmin family, Lokik family, and then contacts and people that we meet on a daily basis. But he says in all 3, if there is cleanliness in that relationship, then what the soul will feel is contentment. The soul will always, and that contentment will bring a happiness to the soul in those relationships, because the soul would feel, oh my, that moment shared with this other person has created in me a sanskara that brought me back to what is original in that relationship. So wouldn't it be nice if we look at all 4 of these tomorrow and we're saying, I'll start this cleanup. I'm starting to clean up. One is I'll start with my temple, my body, having the self-respect of myself. How do I clean up myself? How do I clean up my senses? And how do I make decisions that would help me to continue doing this? And then, of course, how do I use Manmanabha to clean up my thoughts? How do I focus my mind on Baba to clean up those thoughts, which will help the intellect again to decide? And then when I look into my heart, what am I seeing? Am I placing my efforts in front of Baba honestly? Am I doing service, not out of selfish interest and duty? And, it's my responsibility, but do I do it with that true love? True love is my dharma. And if there's true love in my dharma, then there's altruistic service done for Baba, the love for Baba, the love for truth. And then finally, in my relationships and the cleanliness in the relationship, I will experience as contentment. Now, just that one word, can take me on a complete journey in one day to clean up myself and to return to purity. So does it sound hard or is it easy? Easy, right? Just say easy. Remember one word, clean. And the second word, honesty. Om Shanti.
संगम युग का वर्षा यही है, शिव से मिलन मनाना। समय श्वास संकल्प सभी सेवा में लगाना। पवित्रता बरसाए जग में, पवित्रता बरसाए जग में। फरिश्ता झलक तुम्हारी, फरिश्ता झलक तुम्हारी। शिव पिता ने दी है तुमको, शिव पिता ने दी है तुमको श्रीमत कितनी प्यारी, श्रीमत कितनी प्यारी। बच्चों प्यारे बच्चों।
मेरा हमेशा ही ब्रह्मा बाबा के साथ एक शब्द के ऊपर बहुत डिबेट होती थी। बाबा हमेशा ही कहते थे बच्चों को नंबरवार पुरुषार्थ अनुसार याद प्यार और नमस्ते ऐसा कहते थे। मैं बाबा को कहता था बाबा ये आप नंबरवार शब्द निकाल दो, मुझे आपका ये नंबरवार पर शब्द पसंद नहीं है। तो बाबा कहते कि नहीं बच्चे तुमको क्या मालूम, ये तो गुड़ जाने, गुड़ की गोथरी जाने। इसलिए बाबा ने कहा बच्चों में भी नंबरवार ही है। मैं तो बाबा ने कहा मैं तो बच्चों का आदि मध्य अंत सब जानता हूँ, तुम बच्चे नहीं जानते हो। फिर बाबा ने जब बहानेबाजी के ऊपर मुरली चलाई, अव्यक्त मुरली चलाई, उस दिन मुरली के बाद बाबा हम बच्चों से मिल रहे थे, तो बाबा ने कहा था बहानेबाजी में यही कहा कि इसमें सभी बच्चों का पहला नंबर है। बहानेबाजी में, वो बहानेबाजी की भी कला है। झूठ बोलना वो भी एक कला है, झूठ बोलना भी आना चाहिए। हाँ नहीं तो बच्चे की माँ कहानी मालूम है ना। हाँ बच्चों को स्कूल में नहीं जाना था। हाँ तो स्कूल के टीचर ने फ़ोन किया कि आप क्यों नहीं आते हो, आपका बच्चा क्यों नहीं आया। तो बच्चे ने यही कह दिया कि मेरे पिताजी कहते हैं कि बच्चा तो तबीयत ठीक नहीं है करके खुद नहीं अपने तरह से झूठ बोलना कईयों को नहीं आता है। तो इस प्रकार से क्या हो जाता है, हाँ हम युक्त के नाम के आधार पर क्या होता है अंदर झूठ, पर युक्त के आधार पर हम अपने आप को अपनी कमियों की वकालत करते हैं। जब हम अपने आप अपनी कमियों की वकालत करते हैं ना, हाँ तो कभी भी हम उन कमियों के ऊपर विजय नहीं प्राप्त कर सकेंगे। इसलिए मैं कई बार कहता हूँ कि हमें भक्त की तरह अपनी कमियों के ऊपर जीत पाने के लिए तीव्र पुरुषार्थ करना ही होगा, क्योंकि हमारी कमियां जो है ना, इस कमियों के आधार पर ही हमारा पुरुषार्थ तीव्र नहीं होता है। हमें हमारी कमियों के ऊपर विजय प्राप्त करना ही होगा। और इसके लिए अगर कोई गलती हो गई ना, तो मेरा अपना मानना है कि हमें अपने आप को सजा देनी चाहिए। ये गलती क्यों हो गई, ऐसी गलती नहीं होनी चाहिए, ऐसी गलती बार बार नहीं होनी चाहिए। अपने ऊपर इतना स्ट्रांग, अपने आप के ऊपर आत्मचिंतन करना चाहिए, या तो जो भी आप कहो, अपने आप पर अपना सिंहावलोकन करना चाहिए और अपनी गलतियों के ऊपर विजय प्राप्त करना, अपनी कमियों के ऊपर विजय प्राप्त करना, वो हमारा लक्ष्य होना ही चाहिए। सेवा में भी ऐसा ही है। मैं कई ऐसे बहन भाई को जानता हूँ, इन्होंने सेवा के लिए भी व्रत लिया हुआ है। एक बहन ने मुझे कहा, मैं गया था उधर तो 11-12 बज रहा था, मैंने कहा चलो बहन जी भोजन करो, तो कहा नहीं मैं अभी भोजन नहीं कर सकती हूँ। मैंने कहा क्यों बहन जी, आप अभी क्यों भोजन नहीं कर सकते हैं? कहा मैंने व्रत लिया हुआ है कि जब तक अन्य एक आत्मा को बाबा का संदेश नहीं दूं तब तक मैं भोजन नहीं करूंगी। ये कितनी अच्छी धारणा उसने बनाई कि कम से कम रोज, कम से कम एक अन्य आत्मा को बाबा का संदेश मैं जरूर दूं, और संदेश देने के बाद ही मैं भोजन के अधिकारी, ब्रह्मा भोजन के अधिकारी बन सकूंगी। कितनी अच्छी धारणा है, कितना अच्छा व्रत है। भक्ति मार्ग में हम व्रत रखते हैं, भक्ति मार्ग में हमारी धारणाओं को हम मजबूत बनाने के लिए हर प्रकार का पुरुषार्थ करते हैं। तो ज्ञानी तो आत्मा बन गए ना, उसके बाद उसके बाद क्या होता है? एक बहन को हमने कहा कि पहले तो आप बाहर खाना पीना नहीं खाते थे, अब बाहर आपने खाना पीना खाना शुरू कर दिया है। तो उसने कहा अभी तो बाबा ने कहा है ना कि तुम्हारी दृष्टि से उसको पवित्र कर दो, इसलिए अपवित्र बाहर का खाना होता है, मैं उसको दृष्टि देती हूँ और दृष्टि से उसको पवित्र करके मैं खा लेती हूँ। मालूम नहीं आपको ये बात पसंद आई और आज से ऐसा करना शुरू करेंगे या नहीं करेंगे? मुझे लगता है कि आपने तालियां बजाई, माना आप आज से यही करेंगे। बाहर का खाना जो है बाहर बहुत मिलता है, उसको दृष्टि दे करके पवित्र करके खाना शुरू कर देंगे। जानकी दादी जब पुणे में थी तब दादी जानकी को किसी ने पूछा कि क्या आपकी धारणा इतनी कमजोर है कि किसी एक का अपवित्र व्यक्ति का हाथ का खाना खाया और आपकी धारणा भंग हो जाएंगी? दादी जानकी ने कहा नहीं, मैं जानती हूँ कि मेरी धारणाएं जो है, ऐसे किसी का भी अज्ञानी का किसी का भी हाथ का खाया तो मेरी धारणा भंग नहीं होंगी। परंतु मेरी एक दूसरी भी धारणा है, मुझे बाबा ने ज्ञान दिया हुआ है कि जैसा कर्म मैं करूँगी मुझे देख करके और करेंगे।
Shanti Avikti Parivar. So tomorrow is Thursday and it's very special day again for us to meet our beloved Bap Dada. So it's the Avik Bap Dada Milan Day. So let's see the schedule for tomorrow from Amrit Vela 3:30 a.m. to 4:45 a.m. And then we will also connect to transmission online. Bap Dada's transmission, so it will start from 7:30 a.m. onwards. So in a Vikti Parivar Zoom, we will have in main room Bap Dada. English, and then in breakout room we will have Hindi. So it's optional. Anybody who would like to join Avikti Parivar for transmission, you are welcome. Otherwise, there is also on YouTube online. Then in the evening, we will have 5 to 6 p.m. English Sakar Murli, and same time in the breakout room 5 to 5:15 Avikti Children Murli class for 15 minutes, and then 6 o'clock Patti will start, followed by Bhog offering. Just to let you know, Mohini Didi will be offering Bhog, and it will be very special. And then we will also listen to Baba's Bhog message, and then we will have Hindi series, then English series, and Avikti journey. So this will be a whole day schedule for tomorrow, and I'm sure everyone must be preparing to meet Bab Dada. There are many Baba's children who are in Madhuban in person, but there are many Baba's children who are connecting through their angelic form and meeting Bab Dada. So now let's do Avikti Journey. Welcome to Avikti Journey. Avik Murlis from 1969. Multi-million fold fortune and blessings.
Om Shanti. Avyakt Murli of the 2nd of August, 1972. Attain success by doing every action with the right method. You tell others that together with the transformation of the time, they should transform themselves. In the same way, you should also have the awareness that together with the transformation of the time, you also have to transform yourself. Whilst bringing about transformation in the self, the world will be transformed. On the basis of self-transformation, you will be able to carry out the task of world transformation. This is the greatness which others do not have. They are in the process of trying to transform others. Here, on the basis of the self, you transform the world. So, because you are the basis, you have to pay that much attention to yourself. Always have the awareness that every thought of yours is connected with world benefit. If there isn't power in the thoughts of those who are the embodiment of success, then there will be a weakness in the transformation of time. Because of this, the more powerful you become, the closer you will be able to bring the time of world transformation. Although this is fixed according to the drama, on what basis has it become fixed? There must be some support, must there not? So, you are the images of support. At present, you are in the vision of everyone. Acha? This is the second Murli of the 4th of August, 1972. Signs of serviceable, sensible, and essenceful. Do you consider yourself to be serviceable, sensible, and essenceful? Do you experience all three of these virtues in yourselves in the same way as they are in the Father? Whatever symbol is being kept in front of you at present, you are close to being equal to that symbol, are you not? What is the symbol that is being kept in front of you? That of the Father. The symbol of Vishnu belongs to the future, does it not? However, the symbol of the confluence age is the Father, is it not? So, you are bringing about equality whilst keeping the symbol in front of you, are you not? Do you experience equality with the Father in all three virtues? Or is it that you experience the speciality of one virtue and not of the second or third virtues? Are all three virtues within you to the percentage that they should be according to the time? According to the present time, has your stage reached the percentage of effort that it should have? You should have reached 95%, should you not? Since there is very little time remaining, you should now have, according to the time, 95%. One cannot say 100% because you would then give the excuse of time. This is why Baba is not saying that it should be 100%. Baba is still giving you a margin of 50%. Acha, to be continued. Om Shanti. Become a carefree emperor of the land without sorrow by being full with all attainments, honesty and cleanliness. When you have to become a beggar, do not become an emperor. And when you have to be an emperor, do not become a beggar. You need to have this wonder of the intellect. As is the time, so is the situation. And so, make your form according to that. For this, the main thing needed is the power to decide. And you will have this power when you have internal and external honesty and cleanliness.
सर्व प्राप्ति संपन्न बेगमपुर के बेफिक्र बादशाह बनो। सच्चाई और सफाई, जहाँ बेगर बनना है वहाँ बादशाह नहीं बनना। जिन बातों में बादशाह बनना है वहाँ बेगर नहीं बनना। यही बुद्धि की कमाल चाहिए। जैसा समय वैसी बात और वैसा अपना स्वरूप बना लो। इसके लिए मुख्य चाहिए निर्णय करने की शक्ति, और निर्णय शक्ति तब आएंगी जब अंदर बाहर की सच्चाई और सफाई होंगी। ओम शांति।
आईना साफ किया, साफ नजर में आया। आईना साफ किया, साफ नजर में आया। जो मैं को साफ किया, जो मैं को साफ किया, साफ नजर तू आया। रब को मेहरबान पाया। आईना साफ किया, साफ नजर तू आया। ये मैं मेरा ही मुझको तुझसे दूर किए था। ये मैं मेरा ही मुझको तुझसे दूर किए था। जाने गुरूर था क्यों मुझको जो मगरूर किए था। जाने गुरूर था क्यों मुझको जो मगरूर किए था। निगाह पर्दा हटा, रब को निगहबान पाया। निगाह पर्दा हटा, रब को निगहबान पाया। आईना साफ किया, साफ नजर में आया।
ओम शांति। ओम शांति।